Best team in the country, Cart.
Houston.
Can we talk about the actual best team in the country, though?
I'd love to talk about Houston.
Didn't Houston just beat Wright State by 5? Who'd they
Kent
play?
State. Kent State. Good
Kent
basketball
State.
team.
Kent State, Wright State, same thing, right?
No, not the same thing.
Kind of the same thing.
They're a
You,
little
you
different.
you were really impressed by Houston's 5-point win against Kent State?
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you have those games. At least they came out with a win.
They took Kent State's best shot.
Yeah, sometimes. Hey, Kent State's a good basketball team. You don't follow Sean Paul's tweets.
I do not follow. Well, I do follow Sean Paul's tweets. I do not subscribe to the belief that Kent State is a good basketball team, though. You know who else I don't think is a good basketball team? Oregon, who Houston was in a dogfight with. I I'm not impressed with this Houston team's results. I'm impressed with this Houston team on paper, and everybody wants to call them the best because there's a confirmation bias in college basketball media where we want what we say to be true. I do that all the time. Everyone from preseason rankings, anyone who put together a list this offseason wants what they said would happen to happen. And a lot of people had Houston up top, and they want that to be true. A lot of people had North Carolina up top, and they wanted that to be true. I think this week is finally when everyone was willing to admit that everyone was wrong and stupid for doing that. We're going to get there with Houston, too, because this Houston team is not the best team in the country, Car. You know who is the best team in the country?
Fighting Jeff Goodman's.
Arizona, the Wildcats. And nobody talked about them in the offseason, Cart, because why would you? They lost Ben Mathurin. They lost Coloco. They lost Dalen Terry. They flamed out in the tournament. Why would you talk about this team, Cart? They bring back Kirk Risa. He's like Wendell Green. Like, you can't trust him. Pell Larson, like, that's just a name. He's not even good. Who do they have in the front court? Tubelis, whatever. He's fine. This team's nasty. This is the best team in the country, Cart.
They are nasty. I will say that.
Ballo's a freak. I mean, I think he's the player of the week in the last week in college basketball. He averaged like 22 and 12. He's a killer. That's the best team. They play. So I do this thing where every year I fall in love with a team, right? And usually it's later in the season that it happens, but this is my team this year. Arizona.
They struck you down early.
It's love at second sight. And they're Gonzaga. Like, I just want everyone to realize that this Arizona team is what Gonzaga has been for 6 years. And Tommy Lloyd honestly might have Mark Few on pack watch.
Whoa. That's a statement.
I mean, Gonzaga was great when Tommy Lloyd was at Gonzaga, were they not?
I mean, yeah, but also like Gonzaga made it to the Elite Eight last year.
Tommy Lloyd's dudes were still on the team, weren't they? Chet was there.
That's quite the statement. But no, I do love this Arizona team. One of my favorite stories of this year is the hate to love story that I have with Courtney Ramey. Courtney Ramey on Gonzaga is one of my favorite players in the country. On Texas, I could not stand him.
Yeah.
This team is good, like really, really good. They're deep. Tubelis is Tubelis might be National Player of the Year favorite over Zach Edey, honestly, right now. Or that's the guy who I would have in comparison or in competition with him. That guy is playing out of his mind right now. Ballo has improved immensely over this summer. Something about those centers at Arizona kind of taking that leap. Coloco did the same thing last year. Ballo did the same thing this year. Pell Larson is just a plug guy who you can count on to make the right play, and he's probably going to have a game this year where everyone's trash and they have the Pell Larson game and he wins in the basketball game. Krisa seems to be the same Krisa, but at the same time, it's like it seems like he's doing a little less, risk per se, or he just kind of he is what he is. I think it's having Ramey next to him helps a little bit more with what you get with Kirk Krisa. And then you got guys like Cedric Henderson off the bench who just is the perfect bench role player. And Tommy Lloyd can coach his ass off. Tommy Lloyd's that guy. And I don't think I realized that last year because I think I kind of chalked it up to, he's just got, leftovers from the Miller brother. Like this isn't really him. Tommy Lloyd's that guy.
Yeah.
Arizona scares the shit out of me moving forward for the next 10 to 15 years because that guy can coach and that guy can recruit. And it ain't that hard to recruit guys at Arizona either.
Yeah.
So that they scare me.
If I'm a 5-star recruit and I'm watching the way Arizona plays right now, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm calling Tommy Lloyd myself to ask if I can come there. Yeah, I just think the way they play basketball is like it reminds me of like the mid 2000s Roy Williams North Carolina team, or like the best Izzo teams that are so up and down, and they just score before you're even like, you just scored, and then Arizona just scored before you even like realized that you scored. Like they move so fast. They're so talented. I think the Creason thing works this year. It didn't work last year because some of Crease's stupidity, for lack of a better word, it all came at the expense of like, dude, what are you doing? You have Ben Matherin sitting right there. Nobody is ever going to say that about Courtney Ramey, and that's why it works. Like Creasa can make a mistake now, and it's not like, what the hell, dude, you have Ben Matherin. Also, Creasa's not Wendell Green. No offense to Wendell Green, Sleeper's interview, but we lump those dudes together a lot because they're sloppy and their decision making can be erratic. But Creasa's vision is stupid. Like Creasa can have a 10 assist game like that off of like shit. He should only have like 4 obvious assists, and he turns it into 10 because he sees shit that nobody else sees. The problem with Crease is people will complain about shot selection, but with this team, it works. Like, you want a point guard who's bombing 6 threes a game on this team, and he might not hit them every game, but I think they're good enough to sustain that, and he's part of what makes them special. So I'm in. The way that you got swung by Ramey, I'm swung on Creasa right now. It flipped. I hated him last year, and I love him this year.
So today, give me your final 4.
It's the same I said earlier. Confirmation bias.
You didn't have Arizona last week, did you?
I've had Arizona since preseason.
Did
Every
you?
week. Yeah. Run the tape. I don't know who I'm telling to run the tape, but I want somebody to run the tape. I had Houston, Baylor, Creighton, Arizona has been my 4 since preseason. I am sticking with it, and I think I look like a genius right now.
You have victory laps to take if you want to take them, but I respect your humbleness. At least
I think those are the best 4 teams in the country.
Oh, that's my final 4 right now.
Houston, Baylor, Creighton, Arizona.
The only team that I think could sneak in there is, I still want to see what that Arkansas team looks like with Nick Smith. That team, I like that team a lot. And if they add Nick Smith, then yeah. But also at the same time, Arkansas are such dickheads.
It's a must team. It's a must.
I mean, God, that is just they're so good, but that they are just a collection of 1 through 12 dickheads led by head dickhead himself, Coach Moss. And I don't even say dickhead in a bad way. Like, I'm like, oh, you're a dick. No, like, they're just carefree, whatever, do whatever, talk shit, make a scene. Like, I love it. That's a type of player I was. So I love that energy. But sometimes in March, that stuff does that kind of stigma runs out a little bit. But add Nick Smith Jr. to the Arkansas team, that might be a team that will sneak into my Final 4 picks.
Can I throw something out there?
Yeah.
I don't think Nick Smith ever plays a game for Arkansas.
Whoa.
Call it like I see it.
What could he do? Can't improve his draft stock.
I think dude would be in the uniform if he wanted to be in the uniform.
Shaden Sharflow?
Not gonna say any more than that. Just like I think we're all waiting for a train, and the train might never come.
Wow, that was poetic.
Are they the Razor Dicks, by the way? You called them dickheads. Razor Dicks instead of Razorbacks?
No.
No, not that. Okay. Any final words for us today, Card?